Good morning, good morning, good morning from the snowy northeast. We are getting 1 to 3 inches in my area today, and I think they've already come down. So I think they were a little light on the actual accumulation. I've already been out there and shoveled once. So good morning, everyone. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. If you're seeing me from a warm climate, please send us warm vibes. Because it's interesting out there. It's winter in central New York, and I live in the Finger Lakes region, which is a lot of lake effect snow because of the lakes. There are 9 to 14 lakes in my area, which is why it's called the Finger Lakes. And lake effect snow is a real thing. So that's what we're getting today. And so I wanted to just come on and catch up with you today. I know I'll be on later for Tarot Tuesday. Yes, I will be here, planning on it, unless something, I don't want to say catastrophic because that scares me. But, if there's a real reason that I can't be here. But right now, there's no real reason I can't be here. So that's the plan for tonight. So I really wanted to come on and catch up. Thank you for your support. Thank you. If you've checked out the newsletter, we had another year of growth, which that's all that's been happening year after year. We've just been growing and growing here. So I appreciate all of you who are liking, sharing, subscribing, those of you who are just showing up in the background. For those of you who I've worked with in the past month and a half, some very amazing empower energy healing sessions going on, packages. So thank you for the support. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I truly appreciate it. So again, I just wanted to come on this morning to do some catching up. I felt like I haven't been around in a while on any, been trying, energetically. I've been really depleted. So last night, I kind of was, working with my spirit guides and kind of asking, like, why am I so tired? Why am I so sad? I think the sadness more than anything else, because I'm postmenopausal. So, fatigue really kind of is just part of it right now with the lack of being able to sleep. Going for a physical at the end of the month. So maybe we'll get some help on that. But anyway, that's just being mid 50s, right? Welcome to the journey of mid 50s. So, okay. With the grief. Sorry. The grief has been the thing that has really caught me off guard. Just, and I know in January, sometimes we can have bouts of grief just because it's a new year, right? We're letting go of the old. We're excited about the new, but it's not here yet. So I know January can be a tough month for many people. And so I was actually putting my cards away the other day because my desk kind of got out of control, which it does on occasion on the other, because this is a very big desk. It's one of the ones that's, the whole corner. So I have a lot of room to put stuff, and I do. And so I was actually being called as I was putting away my decks that I've been using for the past month and a half, to this one, The Golden Future by Diana Cooper. So I actually sat down and I pulled cards already, and they've been sitting on my desk for a day now. And I thought I would do a longer video, not a live, but then of course, awesome. Well, I'm going to pray for you, Karen. I'm going to go to the doctors and see if we can help myself out with that, because this not sleeping is, ugh. I have found some holistic remedies that I've been using. There's actually a holistic healer in my area that I have had a tincture that I've been using, but I'm almost out of. So I kind of need to make a sojourn, or I could buy it online, but it's just about 45 minutes away. But in this weather, it's a sojourn. So I don't know if I'm doing that this week, but anywho, thank you for that. Yeah, just know I'm right there with you, Karen. But I have these Golden Future cards out here, and so I thought we would go through them, kind of see how it ties into this idea of moving on, letting go, and a lot of the grief that many of us are experiencing. And maybe you're experiencing it and you haven't realized that you're experiencing it. I know for me, it took a minute for me, which, if you don't get quiet and have enough quiet time, it can be hard to kind of tap into what you're feeling or what's really going on. So journaling right now is really important, which I have not been doing, and I got to get back to that. Um, some big life changes going on here, and that's also going to help me getting back to journaling and meditating on a more regular basis, which I need. Um, but the first card that came out was dragons. Send dragons to heal the world. And so I feel like right now, if you're feeling like things are coming up for you that you've been struggling with, maybe you struggled with it all last year and you're like, why am I still struggling with this? I really want it to be gone, right? I feel like calling in the dragons can really help you to burn away any remnants of the grief of a relationship past or a situation past, or something that you had to let go of, whether you wanted to or not. I know sometimes we have to let go of relationships or situations that it's not that we don't love the person or the situation. It's not that we don't have great feeling. It's that it's just not a positive thing, right? There's toxicity there, and you've been compassionate. You've been all the things. You've tried to heal the situation in the way that you could with your energy and with how you're coming at the situation. But the other person in it isn't getting it, right? They're just taking advantage of it. So it really feels like calling in the dragons is going to be really beneficial to help you kind of burn away remnants of guilt. Flip side of grief, right? We have guilt. We hold guilt that we woulda, coulda, shoulda the situation, right? Let that go. And a lot of the Empower Energy sessions that I've been doing in the past month and a half, a lot of woulda, couldas, and shouldas, a lot of Archangel Michael coming in to cut cords for people, because you did your best. For some of you, you took yourself out at the knees. You put yourself in lack of resource, lack of opportunity, lack of energy, lack of finances. You put yourself in a kind of a dire situation, and now it's time to call back your energy, call back your opportunities, call back your resources, right? The universe is unlimited, guys. The universe is unlimited. And that's what you have to recognize, is that limitlessness is for everybody. It's not just for a select few. It's not just the right frequency that helps, but it is for everyone. And so what I'm getting here is honoring yourself, honoring animals, and hey, we're human, we're animals also, right? So honoring other people, but honoring them in such a way that sometimes the best thing you can do is walk away. And I know that sounds counterproductive. I know it does. But sometimes you pulling your energy out of the situation really makes someone or the situation fall to a degree where they have to then pick themselves up. They have to then do something to make the situation different. Because you've been bolstering them, you've been helping them, you've been keeping them to a certain plateau. But it cost you. It cost you your time, your resources, your energy, your money, your whatever, your home, your car, your extra, right? Because sometimes we have extra for ourselves so that we feel safe and stable, right? But if you're always giving it away, that extra, whether it's extra energy, extra time, extra whatever, there's none of that for you. And so now you're putting yourself in this negative situation where you're not getting what you're wanting. You're not having what you're wanting. And that's what I'm feeling we're going through right now is, why am I not getting what I want? Why am I not having what I want? Why are things not going the way that I want them to go? It's only January 7th, right? So we're not really in the new year yet, right? So for some of you, you really are still letting go of the old, whatever that old looks like for you. And for some of you, it is time to move. It is time to move on. Maybe for some of you, you do need to take a trip by yourself or take a trip to see someone who will support you, does support you, right? I know for myself, the real supportive relationships I have in my life, they're not close to me at all. They're actually both in North Carolina, which is really, really ironic. Very different parts of the state. Actually, one's west, one's east. And 2 years ago, I actually traveled to both of them in 1 year. Went and stayed a long weekend with each one of them, and it was really amazing. And my mother actually said to me, "Are you going to be doing that again anytime soon? Because you kind of need it, right? Kind of need to make sure you're taking care of yourself." So for some of you, you're moving on from situations. For some of you, you might even be moving homes, moving states. But some of you, I think this is a very internal shift. Am I moving in a positive direction, or am I staying stuck in this energy that doesn't serve me, that just, it doesn't feel good? It's not serving me. It's not bringing me what I want, right? So however this travel card resonates for you, take how it resonates. But maybe you do need a trip. 3 years ago now, I actually traveled out of the country by myself. It's the first time I'd really traveled by myself, and then to do it internationally. I mean, I went to Canada. I live in New York, but it was to the island of Newfoundland. So it was a little different, but amazing, amazing. Met beautiful, beautiful souls. Was, really with my people who resonated with me very well. So yeah, so travel, however that looks for you, I feel like right now would be really beneficial. So shifting the energy. Maybe you need to really clean out your home. Maybe you really need a purging of old clothes and old things. And we've been doing that a lot. We live in a very small space, and there's 2 adults and a 3-year-old. So making sure that everything's in its place all the time is really important, or it's just chaos, right? Nobody can function in that. Not really well anyway. And so we've been doing a lot of purging, especially after Christmas. What clothes don't we need? What toys don't we need? What don't we need? Because we have everything we need, right? And then some. So it's been a lot of, we have actually been getting a lot of organizational tools. So places to store things, better organization. So take this however this resonates. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Sandy. Sandy, I'll be back at 7 p.m. tonight for Coffee and Cards. This is actually a general message for everyone, so please take what resonates. Because it's time, guys. Moving in to be all you can be. And that's what this is setting you up for. So this year is going to be about being all you can be. But this week, it's what can you do to set yourself up for that, right? Where do you need to move? Where do you need to shift? Where do you need to honor? Where do you need to heal? That's what the reflection would be really, really important for you this week. And the third eye, look at that. The third eye for all of you in some way is coming online. Again, if you're following me, you're a light worker. If you're following me, your life shifts on a regular basis because you keep ascending, right? Awakening, moving into connection with your higher self, with your team of guides, angels, and ascended masters. So yeah, this is why you're grieving. This is why you're sad. This is why you're feeling stuck. This is why you're frustrated. Whatever the feeling is that's not positive that you're going through right now, it's because when things are coming into alignment, they don't feel like it. It's almost like they feel like they're falling apart, right? They feel like they're falling apart just before things break open, just before things come online. It feels like things are falling apart. And that's not what's happening. So honor yourself and be all you can be in every moment. And if all you can be in every moment or in a moment is to take yourself out, to meditate, to step back, then do that, right? Because we have a lot coming at us as light workers, right? We get a lot of information. We're getting it clairsentiently. We're feeling it all around us. We're getting it claircognizantly. We're knowing that we know. We just don't know how we know, but we do know how we know. we're hearing it clairaudiently, right? And clairvoyantly, we're starting to see it in our third eye. Maybe the dreams have been really vivid. I actually had I wish it was more vivid last night. I was actually walking with, I believe, a council member, and we were having a conversation. And I think it was about my mission and kind of where I am at this point in my mission. And I can't remember the conversation, and I wish I could. So I'm going to try to meditate on that later. And then if there's a message, I will definitely share it with you. But yeah, right now, be all you can be in whatever way that looks like. Yeah, Lisa, it can be very overwhelming. It can be very overwhelming. So why is this all happening? Where is this all going? Our outcome card is community life. Embrace fifth dimensional society. It's because you're coming online. So for some of you, you're just starting to come online. So you're coming out of third dimension, you're coming into fourth dimension, up into fifth dimension. And for some of you, it's happening really quickly. And I feel like for some of you that have really been putting it off or weren't quite where you needed to be to do it, I feel like this is, for a lot of you, this year is going to be really like, taking you right up that flagpole pretty quickly. I have seen from different channelers, I'm going to call them channelers. They're not readers. They're definitely tapped in, right? That this year things are going to feel fast. Because for some of you, you're like, well, it didn't feel fast, or it's not feeling fast because you're where you're supposed to be. You've been doing the work up to this point, right? For those of you who've really not been doing the work, we have free will choice. So let me back this up. We have free will choice. We're here to have the experience we're here to have. Nothing is ever going to miss us. That's for us. But sometimes we take a really long route to get there. Sometimes we take all the detours because we have free will choice, right? So when we're asked to take a leap of faith, we were like, nope, can't do that. I'm not there yet, right? Or that doesn't feel safe enough for me, right? For some of us, we just like the circuitous route because we're still being beneficial to others. We're still people pleasing. We don't want to lose people, or we don't want to walk away from a situation that on some level we do enjoy, or we do gain from, or we do receive something from it, right? But what I'm feeling is that those of us who have been kind of taking the steps that we've been guided to take for the past few years, it'll just keep happening, right? We'll just keep being guided to take more steps. And look at this. I didn't even realize there's like a circuitous route on this card, or maybe I did subconsciously and that's where it came from. Anyway, it's all synchronicity, right? It all goes together. Where energy goes, and where intention goes, energy flows. Anyway, yeah, this is what's happening is we're coming into this community, this bigger community, this fifth dimensional community. So for some of you, because you keep taking the routes that are taking the detour, or you keep going, no, right? This is the year where there's going to be no more of that, right? You're going to be totally guided to be where you need to be. Because where you've gotten off the path, or you've gotten on a more circuitous path, or a more detoured path, they're going to pull you back, right? Spirit's going to pull you back. So for some of you, the growth is going to be quick. It's going to be fast. It's going to be like boom, boom, boom. Like these things keep happening. What is going on? I can't seem to get where I want to be, or I can't seem to have what I want to have, or I'm not getting what I want, right? Remember, your spirit guides have the shortcut. They have the playbook. And if you can trust, you can surrender and trust into the signs and the synchronicities that are showing up for you. This year will go so much more flowing than if you keep trying to force things or do things your way, which has never really worked out the way that you wanted it to. But can you surrender? Can you give it to God? Can you say, okay, I can't seem to get over this hurdle. I can't seem to get past this block. For some of you, you're having a lot of abuse come up from your early days. For some of you, you're really coming into the pattern of your toxic relationships. or relationships that have been toxic and the pattern that has been in your life. For a lot of you, this is the year where things are going to be really put in your face, where you really have to, this is the year to overcome it. For some of you, you're overcoming addiction. For some of you, you're overcoming narcissistic abuse. For some of you, you are getting right with your own mental health, your own self-sabotaging, right? Overeating, overspending, all the things in the past that have, made you feel good temporarily, but for the long haul, right, it was detrimental to you. So this is why things are going to feel like they're taking a long time to get here this year, because what you've been ignoring or shunting to the side over and over again, that idea or that inspiration or that knowingness, this is not the year that that's going to continue to be allowed. So for some of you who are really staying in that three-dimensional, I can do it, I can fix it, me, you're being brought into the community. And the community is we. With your higher self, with your ascended masters, with your angels, with your guides, with God, whatever you want to call it. For some of you, you're really stepping into your intuition, and you'll be called to share it. For some of you, you're going to start channeling. For some of you, you've been channeling, you just didn't recognize it. So a lot of things are coming to you this year that are going to bring you the 3D, right? The resources you need, the opportunities you need, the people you need. But on the inner, it's really bringing you into this community, unity consciousness of the fifth dimensional energy. When we shift out of 5D from the 3D, it's not that you physically, it's an internal shift, which for some of you will take out of your physical location, which could be the travel card, right? Because if you're really being shifted into fifth dimensional, but you're living in a place that's very 3D, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to move. If you're in a job that's really a 3D and you're landing in the fifth dimension, you're going to get moved. Energetically, you're going to get bumped out. Whether, for some of you, it's going to be so irrational. Like you're just fired for no reason. Well, the reason is you don't vibrationally match, right? Or the relationship just ends. You don't vibrationally match. That person isn't matching you vibrationally. For some of you, though, I want you to recognize that they may come back. They may level up. When you're doing your healing, when you're doing your ascending, the people around you who are on the cusp or have been wanting to make changes, just didn't know how, like you're going to inspire them. Your energy is going to pull them along. So for some of you, I don't want you to think like you're going to like lose your longstanding relationship, but it might go through a turmoil, it might go through an obstacle, right? A challenge. Doesn't mean it can't be overcome, but you can't make the person change, right? But what you can do is you can stay in your truth. You can honor where you are. And for those that are ready, they will come with you. And for those that it's a really toxic situation, they're going to fall away, right? So I really feel like relationships, romantic relationships, work relationships, friendships, family, like a lot of relationships this year are going to change. Some for the better. Some you're going to know. You're going to know it was time. So, not the reading I thought I was doing today at all, but this is the grief that I think I've been feeling, this collective grief of, oh my gosh, I have to let this go, or I have to leave this, or I have to let this be where it is and keep moving forward, right? But that's what's happening is you're being brought into this community life, this 5D consciousness. You're ascending into the fifth dimension, this unity consciousness. What is fifth dimension? It's unity consciousness. It's getting out of warlike energy, competition, keeping up with the Joneses, right? And into this unity consciousness of let's everybody be happy. Let's everybody have everything. Let's everybody be on the same page. And if you're not, I'm going to give you compassion to help you get there. I'm not going to point my finger at you and go, aha, I got it. You don't, right? We're getting out of that. We're getting into this, oh my gosh, you don't have it. Let me help you get it, right? Cooperation, compassion. That's what this year is about. More unity consciousness happening on the planet. So are things being revealed that are not unity consciousness? Absolutely. Is that going to continue to happen? Absolutely. About 3 months ago, I believe I did a video. I can't remember which one, but I know I talked about revelations this year, big revelations. And it's just going to keep happening in your own life. Things are going to be revealed in the collective. Things are going to be revealed. Things that cannot go forward because it's not unity consciousness. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Know that God has got this. If we stay in the high vibrational frequency of universal source love and compassion, we're going to keep moving through these obstacles and challenges. We're going to keep gaining what we're here to have. But if you allow the fear mongering to bring you down, then you're not going to receive. And things are going to be tough. So maybe limiting social media, maybe limiting what you're watching, you're ingesting visually, auditorily, and physically. But be very intentional. Be very intentional with what you watch, where you go, who you do things with. It's going to make all the difference as to how your experience unfolds this year, more easily or more difficultly. But it's bringing us to this unity consciousness of connection that I think for most of us we're ready for. We're ready to find our people. We're ready to find our tribe. We're ready for our tribe to show up. Which is why I do feel like for some of you who've been single for a minute, you were single because the person that you were to be connected with wasn't ready. They weren't vibrationally ready. They were still going through their stuff. So I feel like for a lot of you, and if you didn't watch my prediction video, pick a card, definitely go back and do that. That will also help you to kind of know where you are on the vibration chart and what this year is how it's going to impact you. There were 5 very different readings. So if you're drawn to more than one, feel free to watch both. Yeah, because I was pleasantly surprised that they were all very different messages. Because sometimes I do those pick a cards and they're all very similar. And I'm like, well, I could have just done one reading. This was not the case. So if you've not looked at that 2025, what will this year bring you? Pick a card. You might want to do that after this. So let's get some advice before we go. Actually, I think I'm going to use these tea leaf cards. So let's get some advice. Hello, Jen. Good morning. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So tonight I will be back at 7 o'clock for a Tarot Tuesday. And yeah, we're just going to keep rocking and rolling. I do have some ideas about what we're going to be doing in March. I am feeling some things coming, some classes. So be on the lookout if you're someone that's kind of been wanting to learn. So some of it will be in person and some of it will be virtually. So that I'll probably be putting up in the next few weeks, probably more in beginning of February as I kind of work with Spirit to finalize what it is we're going to be doing. But I do feel like some IET certification classes and then the mediumship course in a new revamped 2.0 version. So we're going to be looking at that this month and seeing what that wants to morph into. All right. So thank you all for allowing me these last few weeks to. Okay. I got way more than I thought. I got like a whole. Okay. So someone will try to make you do something against your will. Take these as they resonate, guys. These all won't be for everybody, but I do feel like these are going to be giving you some, take what resonates. Yeah. Sorrow over loss. Definitely feeling the grief. You feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. So, all right, let's see what. So those are the 3 that kind of came out individually, and now let's go through. Yeah, you're building a solid foundation, so success with effort. So know that you are overcoming whatever the lack is, but you've got to stay in positive expectation. Discord among friends or family. So I think that's validation for somebody who might be feeling something's off with someone, but you can't put your finger on it. It's them, not you. Someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. And again, I am feeling for some of you, that person will be back when they've done some work, when they've figured it out. A period of ill health or depression, so be very careful. I know in this part of the year, in my neck of the woods where we get very little sunlight, again, I'm in central New York, so we get a lot of overcast days because of those lakes and lake effect snow. So getting the sun is really difficult. So be very intentional with your energy and getting as much, because it's happiness. Happiness is coming. Happiness is coming. Good morning, Cynthia. I hope you're doing well. Control your anger or you will be sorry. So definitely watching your emotions and making sure that you're careful with any drastic. Yeah, something important such as a new job or a raise. So for those of you feeling that it's coming, oh, look at that. Yeah, because we're all headed to success. Everybody's headed to some kind of success, and you will know what the success is anytime before now to September. Anytime from now until September, the success is coming in. So for some of you, it's going to take longer. For some of you, it's going to show up right away. It just depends on your situation, your experience, where you are in your journey, and where you are in your vibrational frequency. So, all right, guys. Take those how those resonate. But thank you for being here and thank you for supporting me. I will be back tonight, sending you so much love and so many blessings.